So we're looking at the NBA right now. I think a lot of people are excited for this season, but there are some things that says that the NBA is not in the best state right now. Content creation is saying it. I know people got mad at us last week for touching on the content creation, but people hate it. You know, I saw this tweet the other day that said Sentinel pages for every team. Every team is getting a Sentinel page now, which is essentially just a hate page. These muse accounts, all this stuff like that. It's bad. Also, what's bad is the popularity of the sport. A lot of other sports are seeing growth. Really, every other major sport is seeing growth. But the NBA, you know, last year people marked on play on the court being bad. I want to start off by asking, why is every other sport gaining popularity instead of the NBA, right? There's been an uptick in the WNBA, MLB, and NFL. We have some reasons why, but I want to give you some stats to kind of boost this. Viewership for fans age 18 to 24 on MLB.tv up 11% in 2023. The average age viewer has dropped 4 years from 48 to 44. So the young people are getting into the sphere now. Play 5 Sports audience data shows that MLB and NFL have nearly identical audience makeups, with 41% of their viewers under 44. So the old heads are not necessarily getting out of it, but they're also seeing an uptick in the younger demographic. You know, you've seen the WNBA numbers. I'm going to find the ones from, this past finals, because they're all like outrageous. But this finals average more numbers than like every WNBA finals combined. But on the NBA side, that does not seem to be the case. That does not seem to be the case. Who's got a theory? Let's talk ball.
Theory number one. Haven't fleshed this out fully, but I feel like when you look at the other leagues, they have a guy or a gal. Baseball got Ohtani. WNBA got Caitlyn. NFL got Patrick Mahomes. For that next generation, not talking about Steph, not talking about LeBron. We're still finding that out for the NBA. I feel like that's a factor in all of this. I know we've tossed out some names: Anthony Edwards, Luka, Wemby. But the fact that this is still a discussion right now and there's no clear-cut type of name just yet, I think that's a part of it, man.
Oh, I've been saying that the shit's not as cool as it used to be, and niggas will one ear out the other tell you that you're not a real fan, and that's fine. The point is, we're talking popularity. You think winning a popularity contest means everybody actually fucks with you in high school? Boom. Like at the end of the day, we're talking about like how many people can accept something as cool. And yeah, I agree. I agree with this standpoint that there's not really like a cool team or a bad guy team or a cool player necessarily. There's players that like everybody or man this or man that. There's music counts for every motherfucking body. Nobody's saying that. Don't be dense and stupid. But what I am saying is, like, as we so mentioned, when you talk about like LeBron James, everybody know LeBron James. Everybody knows Steph Curry. But like now we sitting here and we talking like Luka, Jokic, SGA, and or whatever the case may be. It's none of those names at this point in time. LeBron James. None of those names are Patrick Mahomes. None of those names even, fuck it, I could take this to wrestling. Roman Reigns even. None of those names are that quite yet. And I think that hurts, along with the fact that you don't have a arch nemesis team out there. You don't have the Celtics in the early 2000s. You don't have, late 2000s, I'm sorry. You don't have Warriors. You don't have Cleveland Cavaliers to fight said Warriors. You don't have any of these things. And it's just good hoops. But here's the thing. A lot of people don't give a fuck about good hoops. So if it's not cool to like the hoops, let alone if it's not cool to like the hoops, they don't care if it's good or bad. So that's definitely a factor, whether you like it or not. It's up to you though.
I think it's very simple. The NBA advanced and shifted to a new thing kind of quicker than all those other sports. If you look at the WNBA, they just got their kind of resurgence with the Caitlyns and the Andreesses coming in. With football, it was kind of recent where they made the offensive shift and focus on offense. In baseball, they kind of recently changed their rules to be in favor of offense, speed up pitching. With basketball, they've been made that shift 10 years ago now. 2015, 2016, they made the shift to focus more towards offense and kind of do that. So it gets to a point to where it's like, well, how can the NBA advance now with all these other sports all advancing at once and seeing a growth from it? How can the NBA do that right now? They can't. They been did that. That's kind of how I see it.
I want to add some things to add context. MLB says, this is from Joe Pompilano, that Game 5 of the NLDS, the National League Division Series, I know baseball, between the Dodgers and Padres had 12.9 million viewers in Japan. Average viewership in America, 7.5 million. In Japan, another 12.9 million. That means that 10% of Japan's entire population watched the game at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. The Shohei Ohtani fake. Somebody talked to me. What did they say? They said the Dream Team was like the most pivotal thing in making like the game globalized for the NBA. And I was like, that's cool and all, but Yao Ming, like you can try to understate it as much as you want, but 10% of the whole Japanese population, gang. Do y'all know how much that is?
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, 12.9 million.
Japan's population is 123 million.
No, people, we've had these arguments, and I was at the time, I was still surprised when they were arguments. I don't know exactly who was on what side of it, but we've had this conversation about having either a face behind something or a brand behind something. Nigga, at the end of the day, the Lakers, for example, are the cool team in the NBA to watch, no matter how LOL their shit. Celebrities, random people off of the street, they like LeBron. They like the Lakers. Oh shit, LeBron is a Laker. That's gonna be the cool team. But then when you really like put your actually glasses on and go to NBA Twitter, it's just like them niggas kind of ass. And in real life, them niggas ain't that damn good. So now it's like, okay, who else is cool per se? I like the Anthony Edwards guy. I like the SGA guy. So yeah, I think the NBA definitely needs a face one, absolutely, or a team. They need a storyline. As corny as it sounds, they don't have a narrative going on for people to get behind. Niggas can't be sheep. Okay. Two, I would say Damo actually is onto something, admittingly. The NFL even, they're kind of, everybody's looking at the quarterback struggles now, Damo. I don't know if you know, and they're like, shit, actually, these damn defenses is throwing coverages that's the young niggas don't know what the fuck to do, and the old niggas is like, hey, he's all over the place. So maybe it will take that to go on in the NBA. I don't know if we feel like that's going on, and where there's a situation where certain players, certain guards or wings can't score, but like the bigs are eating all day on this defense. A pause needed. So I don't know. But I do think it's something about the game of basketball itself that is the issue. I didn't word that well, but I think Damo's on to something there, so I'll double down with that.
Well, that kind of leads into a different point. Is there something, because baseball, as Damo did alluded to, baseball did do some rule changes and some gameplay tweaks. Apparently they added like a shot clock and some other things in order to speed up the game a little bit. Do you think...
Pitch clock, do you think the base is bigger, stuff like that? Yeah.
Do you think that there is a problem with the gameplay on the court, Bezos, that has people like, I'm shy away from this a little bit, and to stay on the theme of being positive, is there a fix for this?
For me, no, I don't think any rules need to change. I do think it's kind of crazy because we've been talking about this being the problem for the WNBA for so long, and now it's kind of in the reverse. Like, right. I think marketing is the bigger issue when it comes to the NBA. I don't think they're marketing their stars well enough. And maybe, it's you got to work with what you got type shit. I feel like some of these stars either just haven't panned out due to injuries, or some of them just aren't, good media-wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Ant is the closest thing to being the best of both worlds, but John Morant has been injured these last couple of years. Zion, you know what I'm saying? Even if they want to push Tatum, motherfuckers don't like Tatum now. And he's also cringy when it comes to the media shit. He's not really that marketable in that front. The NBA has a problem with xenophobia and all these different things. So from a rule perspective, I don't see anything that can change it. I think it's a marketing thing. I think it is going to take an American-born player, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, to me, the biggest conversation is the face of the league shit. But one thing I do want to bring up, and I want to shout out the YouTube who pointed this out, but I just can't think of him right now. There's an argument to be made that the NBA's prerogative is not peak viewership at all. Like, we're talking about these peak numbers during the finals, all these different things, game sevens. That's not their prerogative right now. Their prerogative is raising the floor viewership of like a bad NBA game so that the bad teams in the league get more coverage and all these different things. So I believe there's data to back that up. I'm not 100% sure.
I agree.
But, with if that's their objective, I do think more than ever, there are more watchable teams in the league, more like great league pass teams in the league than ever before. You know what I'm saying?
About like spreading around the talent to make some of these.
Yeah. Spreading around the talent. Them reworking the draft lottery as well to have more even odds. Emphasis on league pass these last couple of years. I had another point to bring up, but maybe that's just not their prerogative right now.
I agree.
I will say I hope, like you said the face of the league person is American born. I hope that person is actually Asian. I think that maybe I'm being too idealistic or maybe I'm romanticizing. I don't think so because the numbers are there.
Those 2 weeks of Linsanity.
Linsanity, Yao Ming, what we're seeing with Shohei right now. The views don't have to be like our eyes personally from their spread, from their spreadsheets. A Shohei on the Lakers is a crazy concept, and what that would do. I know Linsanity was in New York, which is actually big, so I won't even take that away from there. But a Linsanity in New York, Chicago, Boston, like that's a crazy concept for me to like wrap my head around.
Let that motherfucker be Filipino, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all see how Manny Pacquiao, had motion in America. And basketball is the number one sport in the Philippines too. Bro, we been waiting, man. We been waiting. There just hasn't been one.
Y'all just not tall enough.
We're just not, bro. We just not.
Nah, but think about it.
Man.
And maybe I cut you off too early, but I'm sorry. I just think out loud all the time. But like now I think about it. I'm talking about main characters being missing. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. These small market teams getting the chip ain't helping either. And it's not gonna want to hear that, but like, I think it's a difference if the Knicks were to get it done, and it's a difference if like the Timberwolves get it done. And I know they sound like I'm taking shots at Ant. Y'all know I fuck with Ant. I think I'm the only one that likes Ant up here. But like,
that's crazy.
I'm being dead ass though. Like Boston is the team that everyone does not like, and it's not that it's not a villain per se. No, niggas just don't find them interesting. Whatever the case may be, they just don't find Boston interesting. Therefore, they don't like Boston. But like when we're looking at like the Suns making the finals, like Phoenix is cool. It ain't Chicago. It ain't LA. DC sports don't count. But even hypothetically, like DC or it ain't Atlanta. So I just think maybe it hasn't been the easy. What I'm getting at with all of my points here, and I'm gonna try to come up with something else. What I'm getting at is it hasn't been fuck you obvious and easy for someone who doesn't know anything about basketball to enjoy basketball. You have to kind of know what you're talking about, and that's why I even think the theory that the YouTuber that you were mentioning is right. That they're just trying to raise the floor and retain all the fans that they currently do have. Because now that I think about it, we were so negative about it last pod, but I think of all the spheres that I'm familiar with, if I had to start from ground zero and I had to rush to like 1,000, NBA all day, every day, I wouldn't even hesitate. NBA content would be the easiest, most acceptable way to get in, and you'll regret that shit and want to get out. But I think it's easy to get there.
I think the CBA also plays a factor in that floor raising shit, but.
If we're talking about NBA content, let's go into that realm right there. So Cognac Cruz, our lead producer, Cruz is our only producer, by the way, but Cruz put together do I want to call this a screenshot of what the different content looks like on the different platforms, right? And we're talking about NBA, and this one just so happens to be baseball. And I want to show y'all what baseball looks like. I want to show y'all what the NBA looks like. And we're going to see if anybody feels as if there is a difference as to how these two platforms, talking about from the content creation side, go about creating the content that they make. Hold on. Darn, I'm butchering this right now. Is that it? No, that's not it. Let me minimize this.
Yeah, starting to go to the Lakers. I'm not even necessarily saying it's just LA. I already know I'm wearing the Lakers shirt. It's not going to be a good look. I'm just saying, like, we don't need to be obtuse because we are the actually NBA fans, Chad. But I'm saying, never mind.
I'm sorry. No, I want to debunk that too because we got. I don't want to say quote unquote killed, but they criticized us for that last thing. It was like, y'all act like y'all aren't a part of the problem. We are.
We are literally the
are.
problem. We are people that bought microphones, cameras, took trips to talk about basketball. We are and that's what I'm thinking that like our community and even us to a degree, we're going to be blissfully ignorant or blindly ignorant in this case about. We are the nerds. So the surface level shit that we're talking about for you niggas, oh, you're just pushing an agenda. No, stop thinking about agendas. You're thinking too much. We are not talking about just getting more eyes on the game. We're talking about validity and what we're speaking on. Like, no, you're thinking too hard, dog. Just there's a lemon on the ground and you niggas is trying to make orange juice, bro. At the end of the day, a big ass city, a big ass team, and a popular ass team. I'm sorry, I said it backwards. Popular ass team, big ass market with a damn good player on it is going to cook a lot easier to a new fan who doesn't know anything about the sport than some kid going off in Minnesota or some kid going off in Denver.
So this is baseball. Widescreen ruined baseball. Diamondbacks didn't exist. Then they won the World Series. Do you steal bases off the pitcher or the catcher? Sammy Sosa did nothing wrong. The only thing that matters in baseball, he made big leagues at 19. This is just a summation of like the content that they're putting out, right? Okay. Doesn't look crazy. Just it looks like baseball content. You do with that with what you will. But I want to look at. Hold on. I want to show a nude here.
Yeah. It looks like fouls, man.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Hold on. I want to pull up basketball content. This is just a screen grab. This is not an indictment on anybody's channel. This is not saying, hey, this person is awful at making content. This is nothing like this. This is just a screen grab. Okay, here we go.
Crazy
coming up that we all know.
I don't even know what it is. I haven't looked at it either.
Okay.
What Lonzo Ball's return means for the Lakers. These are not the same Lakers. The NBA has an OKC Thunder problem. Does Russell Westbrook make the Nuggets better? Why young Kyrie was impossible to guard? Why Julius Randle? This to me is pretty decent. I think that this is pretty decent, right?
It's also pretty positive, especially for the NBA community.
It's decent. It's positive, which is rare. The NBA dunks on itself a lot. We missed the elephant in the room there. But it's also, if there is a criticism, not to this guy, and I'm not even playing PC, seriously, that's a lot of player-centric shit. The other channel was talking about baseball, like just baseball rules and shit. That was just straight player narratives. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe it's not.
Yo, B Souls, this season you've been getting into more different sports, right?
I definitely have. And Prize Picks, our favorite daily fantasy sports app, and the sponsor of this video, has been helping me get into these other sports as well. The great thing about Prize Picks is that it offers weekly promotions. So on Thursdays, I'm making NBA picks because that's primetime NBA basketball time. On Sunday, football is on, so I'm making picks then. The app is just really fun. It's easy to use, and we're going to show you how to make lineups right now. So LeBron and the Lakers are about to play the Bucks. It is just a preseason game, so I'm going to go less on his points for this game. And today, I feel like Zach Edey is going to make a statement game. He's going to get more than 9 points.
And since you've been getting into football, let me tell you about my MVP dual threat sleeper, Jaden Daniels. I'm taking more on his yards any and every time I get.
Let's go ahead and put $12 on this lineup right here. Click submit lineup, and boom. That is how you make a lineup on Prize Picks.
Go to prizepicks.com and use code LKIAB to receive a guaranteed $50 once you play $5 in lineups.
And shout out to Prize Picks again for sponsoring this video. That is once again code LKIAB. And back to the video.
Now, I do want to bring on the other end of the spectrum. The guy that we talk about a lot is awful coaching and what he does.
Oh well, yeah, that's gonna be like 9 day.
Right now, there's a birdie. Dom2K says, this is from his source. A little birdie told me this type of content is getting demonetized soon. Hopefully, this cleans up the scene a bit. I don't want to harp too much on it because we were here, but Damo, this is a conversation about the content. What can the content creators do better? Let's take it from that perspective. What can the content creators do better?
Actually focus on the game versus being negative and just hating on players for the sake of clicks and views. That is the best way to start. And I'm the biggest proponent of that. I'm Mr. Westbrook Slander Space. When Spaces was popping, I understand. I had a big role to play in that. Like I get it. That's the biggest step you can take. As you seen when you brought up the baseball channel, genuinely, Buddy was talking about baseball. Yeah, there were certain videos where it would be um whatever it was about Sammy Sosa or an individual player. But for the most part, it's giving you baseball history, breaking down the game of baseball, talking about baseball, as Sage said. When it comes to basketball, even Souls brought it up when we had this conversation about the NBA community. Niggas do not care about breaking down the history of basketball. They don't care about Hakeem Olajuwon's greatest run. They don't care about the 99 the feat that the 99 Spurs defeated all. They don't care about those videos. It's about right now or the future. That's really where a lot of creators can fix a lot of the issues in the community. Actually care about the game from a positive lens.
Yeah, I guess to add on, yeah, don't be a TSO Sage. Dead ass. Stop. Don't get burnt out. A lot of NBA YouTubers are not hitting a high enough level to where when they get burnt out, they haven't really impacted the NBA community to where they could have been. Not saying that they haven't done it at all, but like there's probably a ton of people that we probably even personally known or even have talked to. Now I think about it, and it's like, damn, this motherfucker's about to take over, and he left it. Or and he got a job now. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen anybody newer, and I haven't seen nobody newer, and I don't tap into NBA YouTube if I'm offending your favorite NBA YouTuber, but I haven't seen anybody like dive into it, become a new big time face, and then stay in the NBA community without getting fatigued, and then doing what Damo said, not taking the layups, not taking the LeBron title and thumbnail, not taking the why Kawhi Leonard is an injury prone bitch layup line. No, talk about the game for real and be unapologetically you as you talk about the game. I haven't seen that. Maybe it exists. Maybe I haven't seen it. I hope it is out there. It probably is, and I just haven't seen it.
Well, I know B Souls and people mark this as like a breath of refreshing air. You should try this. Like da 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 da. Can you speak to the difference between, even in our podcast? We're gonna be critical of our podcast because I know people don't like that. Can you speak to the difference of being a guest on the Big Three and then also being, you know, on this platform, your platform, other platforms in the space?
Yeah, I think when I hopped on the Deep Three.
Did I say the Big Three?
Yeah, he said Big Three. I think.
Oh, I'm tripping. My bad. The deep Three. My bad.
When I hopped on a Deep Three, it was such a breath of fresh air. One, because it was an offline recording. We do a lot of our shit live, so you know, you fuck up, you know, just a little bit of a, oh, okay, good, we good, you know what I'm saying? But from a content perspective, and this is why I fuck with the Deep Three, they are one of the few platforms that just keep basketball fun. I think that's one of the solutions in the space is either keep it fun or really be like analytical schmitical with it. You know what I'm saying? Like really dive into that bag if you really want to dive into that bag. But these in-between channels, and listen, I'm gonna be critical myself. I think the B Souls channel, and that was something I was trying to improve on over this last year, was an in-between ass channel that was capitalizing on some of the drama in the NBA, capitalizing some of the drama that went on in the W at times, all these different things. I think like that middle line content is a problem in the space. That's the type of fucking content that just takes itself a little bit a little bit too seriously. But you know, that was one thing I really liked about the Deep Threes, because on here we made it a joke. We gotta talk about basketball. When I hopped on the Deep Three, we literally talked about basketball for like 2 hours, and it was really just one idea concept. It wasn't like a bunch of different topics, and we had fun with it. You know what I'm saying? They kept it light. But it does take certain creators that are really passionate about the sport to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think one thing we've realized as a platform is, hey, maybe that's not us. 2 to 3 hours of straight basketball shit, keeping it fun and genuine, not on some force. All right, we got to do this for the hour, like genuine. Okay, let's really enjoy this conversation right here. I don't think that's us.
That's valid. Okay.
That's not this one go.
Three things to save basketball. Just off top. Go. We need them.
Stop being a smartass. Just stop bullying people that are trying to get into the game. That especially goes for WNBA. Xenophobia. Stop it. Because my God, if you weren't xenophobic, this shit probably wouldn't even be a conversation. And then honestly, this is gonna sound corny, but I think that expansion actually is a good move. It needs a major move, and there needs to be a reason why we're tuning into this specific season, and the expansion is gonna help with that.
Less negativity. The NBA needs to find a Caitlin Clark. Weirdly enough, yes, the NBA needs to find a Caitlin Clark. And then third, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I ain't going for a third.
Damn.
Those are my main two.
Make the final 5 games.
That's valid.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, shorter seasons is genuinely a conversation for regular season. I actually think go to 58 will help.
Go ahead, Damo.
Super easy. Super easy. I would say stop always trying to be right. Just have a conversation. Stop isolating people out of basketball conversations because you don't respect their opinion. Stop trying to be first. Just enjoy the game. Stop trying to be first to get the first fucking funny takeoff. Stop trying to get the first meme off. Stop trying to get the first put the fries in the bag. Shit up. Stop trying to be first to get interactions. Just enjoy the game.
Yeah, because that Sentinel, whatever. I said the same word twice. That race was corny when niggas was racing to get the brand of I call T-Bulls. I got the Lakers. I've been doing the Lakers anyway. Like, all right, bro.
I'm gonna keep it, and those things are not like those aren't even funny. Like they're not funny. They're not interesting. I don't know. I did an experiment. I followed like a Sentinel or really a Muse page. And I was like, man, this is so but I think because Elon has injected this algorithm into Twitter, that's what's making these Muse pages and these Sentinel pages pop up more and more and more because they're kind of incentivized by it. But like somebody looked up, it was like maybe like Julius Randle's Muse page. They have tweets going back to 2013 and they were like going to college in 2013. First day of college, just turned 18 years old, blah, 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 blah. Somebody was like, could you imagine being a 35-year-old Muse page, a 35-year-old Sentinel page? Like, you're a grown man. Yeah. Cut that out. Go ahead.
The only thing with the being first thing is because this is something I vividly remembered in the NBA community when I was starting off. Like, there was no news channel. There was no YouTube channel that was doing daily content. Like a lot of the Dom 2Ks of the world, me, Low, it was motherfuckers taking their time, taking, 3, 4, maybe a week to get a video off. But then certain people showed up in the community, started doing daily content and like did crazy numbers. Like SDC, that was his thing. Every single day he'd come up with an NBA recap. And then that built off into a flight mic, and then that built off into, what we have now. So that all of that to say, the stop being first thing, obviously we're talking about ideals, so I'm not even saying it's a bad take, but it's just like someone is going to fill that necessity in the community. Like someone is going to be waiting for that first take, and someone will do it and succeed off of it. So I don't know.
Yeah, NBA just has a major oversaturation problem. Hell, we talk about shortening the season in the finals.
Then I would just say, let that person be that person.
Yeah, thank you. He said what I was going to yap for 30 seconds extra about.
And I'm not gonna lie, respectfully, that person is going to be a shorter lived career than the person that takes the long route. The only reason why I say that, and you might be able to bring up examples that are of course outliers. The only reason why I say that though is because if your element is shorter, the thing that's going to happen is somebody's going to find a way, or faster, somebody's going to find a way to be faster. And then somebody's going to find a way to be more fast. And then somebody's going to find a way to be fast and once you compete with the fast and, I'm always going to go to the fast and over the person that has just fast.
Yeah, pause if needed. Someone's gonna be faster and funnier than you.
Faster and more attractive than you, faster and more knowledgeable than you, faster and can, edit and put more graphics behind it. So the two people that have the longevity is the person who's going to be fast and there's always going to be somebody that's faster and then the person who is more thorough, putting out just the best video that they can put out. If your cat trade comes out 3 days after, but it is just the most thorough piece of content, I personally believe in the long run that'll, hold out. But you disagree with yourselves? I know you was gonna disagree.
No, I thought the same, and I'm gonna just say his name. I think a couple years ago we were having conversations about like Flight Mike and the content that he's doing and being like, yo, this shit ain't sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Like he's baiting everyone just to be first on all these different things. But bro just hit 1 million subs lately, and I looked at his viewership. It is still really, really rock solid. So like I'll give him credit on this front. There were people doubting him within the community on some, he about to fall off in a couple years, man. Like, but it's been sustainable. And he's done it in the NBA community. He's made an NFL channel as well. And the NFL channel is doing crazy numbers too. So I don't know, bro.
Is he the outlier though?
I could just be wrong. That's also
it could just be the outlier.
Because I would say Woj. I think we all agree Woj is a fucking outlier.
My three: make things that matter. Make things that matter again. And this goes to top-down NBA stuff. Make jerseys that matter. Make courts that matter. Make the games matter. Make the marketing matter. Make, all these things just matter again. I don't know what it is. The regular, we get to the point. I don't think people even realize, and maybe this is some of the people that just got into the NBA, and I'm going to sound like an old head, but where we got to last year before in-season tournament, even then it was in-season tournament, before we got to the in-season tournament, like we were just to the point where as a community, we were just, hey, the regular season just doesn't matter. And players like Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes were screaming like, no, this is But we got to that point. We really got to the point where everybody just started punting on the fact, hey, just the regular season just doesn't matter. It is what it is. The playoffs is what really matters. The jerseys don't matter. Like I dead out of Nike's little tenure, and they just re-upped. I saw one. They just re-upped. So hey, Nike's gonna be here for a minute. These past city jerseys, these city whatever they be putting out, I'm trying to think of the ones that have mattered.
The hottest shit are just retros of the old shit. Like,
but we could think, we could think of 30 Reeboks that matter. We could think of 20 Adidas that matter. But out of these Nike things, I think
none of this shit is gonna be retro. Like in 30 years, no one's gonna look back at the 2020 jerseys and be like, retro that shit.
Respectfully, the only one, and this ain't because I'm like a pseudo fan of the Lakers or whatever. The only memorable jersey that Nike has put out in the past couple years has been that black Mamba with the snake on the lake. That's the only one. Other than that, I'm trying to think of one that's like,
there's been cleaner jerseys out there. I don't think that's the like coolest looking jersey, but that's definitely one that's like stood out among the rest. Absolutely.
Even in the basketball shoe space, the shoes don't matter. Like, it's so saturated. There's so many of them. There's no colorways that really stand out that make people want to wear them outside. Want to get repeatable.
Basketball shoes, honestly, in 2024, have just turned back to being basketball shoes to me. I don't know, like they're not crossing over to the lifestyle area anymore.
And that might be a problem, though. But
NBA might got a too cool for school thing going on.
That might be a problem.
Because in media day, granted, media members are pretty fucking annoying, so I'm not even mad at the players. But they too cool for that, too cool for the All-Star game. Some players too cool or injury prone for the regular season. And we've even had conversations about being too cool or too good for the first round of the playoffs. Some of you even the second round of the playoffs. So it may be a too cool for school thing, and then it's also combined with like a closed box thing going on, because like I know someone's gonna say, oh, but didn't you think this a couple years ago or whatever? And I was like, okay, well, I guess this good or bad idea that we've had just doesn't matter anymore because I was an idiot 2 years ago. So. Kind of fucked.
What else?
You don't think there's enough you don't think there's enough like toxic superstars in the league too? Because I'm thinking about the past eras.
There's not a real rivalry. That's missing. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. That's missing. There ain't no rivalries, and I die by that. I die by it. There ain't no real. There are rivalries that exist, yeah, but there ain't no Steelers Ravens. There ain't no Battle of the Metros that turned up out of nowhere with Baltimore and Commanders. And funny enough, that's the closest one to an NBA level rivalry. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Commanders for one random game. That's the closest thing.
Mr. Rivalry froze out. So
that's the closest thing.
My other two are I think gameplay is cool. I'm waiting for the person to zag and it'll come along. The resurgence of the big man is actually pretty prominent in the NBA right now. People aren't really talking about it. Shouts out to Damo for that one. But they've got a couple of mobile 7'5" dudes that are like, and 7'5", like 7'5", like 7'4", like type shit. For the community, just be happy in making it again. I know it's overplayed, but I am tired of the negativity. I am tired of we disagree, you a bitch ass nigga. I'm tired of that. I'm so tired of it.
Keep it about comments, man. They went from like, damn, y'all niggas don't fuck with me to y'all hating again. I ain't gonna lie. Like at some point, fool, I'm like, damn, dog. I mean, I guess every take we have is ass. Hey, Souls, who you think's gonna win tomorrow's game? The Mavericks or the Clippers? Soul says the Clippers. I say the Mavs. Yeah, both you are idiots.
You don't know ball. You don't know ball.
I thought it was only A or B. How the fuck? Oh shit.
You don't know ball is people's favorite thing.
It's tough out here. And side note, while we're waiting,
say you don't watch.
Yeah, you didn't watch it, even though you were in the playback stream where I watched it. Side note, chat.
We do like to pull that card a lot too. But
who?
Go ahead.
Yeah, just call us on here. Absolutely.
Who cares?
But hey, chat. Name the NBA. Name the peak NBA rivalry. I want to get that. I want to get that point across because I'm tripling down on that. If it were just my stream, I'd make that day in queue because y'all niggas are literally proving my point. A nigga said Mavs Clippers. Compare that to I don't know. Barcelona and Real Madrid. Even I know that. Like, what the fuck, bro? There's levels to this shit that you niggas are not catching up. But again, we're the nerds. So to you, Mavs Clippers, to you, Hawks Knicks, to you, Lakers Celtics once upon a time, hell, for some of you still today, that's gonna hit for us. We're the actually guys. But in reality, Steelers Ravens is smacking every single NBA rivalry out of the park right now.
Celtics.
That's what I'm trying to get across. Pacers.
Not anymore, but
thank you. Hey, so a nigga said Pacers Bucks.
I think that's the other thing too.
Pacers Bucks got real smoke though.
It do got.
No, but they're trying to build.
I know what you mean.
They're trying to build. Yes. They're trying to build off of like one or two. Two would even be a stretch. 1 or 2 years of things being good. The Lakers and Celtics had the 90s. Not the 90s, the 80s. And that's just a iteration. Right? Yeah. So there's differences in it.
The closest one is really Celtics Heat though, for real.